Hey, it's Coach Ashley here at the Critical Bench Compound. I'm here with Michelle, and we just finished a super awesome, authentic conversation. Next thing you know, 2020 comes around. I started squatting over 200 again. And I was like, I started seeing lines in my legs. I'm like, I'm back, baby. This is it. Next week, COVID hits. Pandemic, world shut down. My box shut down. I was like, what? The guys got a clip of it. We were talking about our butts, weak glutes. Check out my glute assessment below. And hey, check out our conversation. So at basically 2019, I stopped working out. I couldn't. I was so fatigued that I just couldn't perform. And I stopped prep in the beginning of 2019. I called it. I was like, this is it. I can't step on stage if I'm feeling like this. I couldn't even train. Basically worked out one day a week for all of 2019. Ended 2019, I discovered CrossFit. I didn't discover it, right? Bodybuilders, okay, you are an anomaly. CrossFitters and bodybuilders don't go together.
They do not go together. I refuse to quit either one.
Yeah.
So I just do my own thing, Ashley. I just do my own thing.
It's really funny because when Chris was telling me about it, he's like, yeah, she's a CrossFitter and she's a bodybuilder. I'm like, wait, what? They don't. So you can imagine when I had been bodybuilding for so long, so what's really funny is the year before when I was prepping for South Carolina, I was mid-prep and I did the Murph. So bodybuilder walks into a CrossFit gym, I'm jacked. My shoulders, my legs, and they're like, who the is this girl? I got my ass handed to me in the Murph. Because bodybuilders, I'm a statue. I look good. But
you isolate machines.
Yeah, I mean, you're isolating,
practical.
You're building strategically. I'm not a functional. I'm not I do my cardio, but I do a steady state, keeping my heart rate during a certain zone for fat burning during bodybuilding. I'm not running a goddamn mile, doing 100 pull-ups, push-ups, squats, and then doing rinse and repeat. So it was really funny because I walked in that gym and people were like, and then after it's look at the bodybuilder. I was dead. So anyways, funny story. Ended 2019, I figured if I'm gonna be tired, I didn't want to program myself. I wanted to show up, right? So what happens when you're tired? You're like, I don't want to program myself. Well, you work out at CrossFit, so you probably work out at a regular gym too, but it's nice to be told what to do. I was like, I still want to lift heavy. I want to lift weights, but I just don't want to program. I want to be accountable to going somewhere. So where do you get that? CrossFit. So I walked into a box.
CrossFit. I just go in, just tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I look at other people. It's all, friendly competition, and I like it. And for that hour, I'm not thinking about anything but working out. Heavy. I'm not on my phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But I'm busy. I'm doing the WOD. I'm doing the workout of the day. That's what I'm focused on, and then I get it done.
I find myself that you're getting a good workout, and that's what I needed.
I need that push.
I needed to show up, and I needed to lift weights. So I didn't want to just do any group fitness because not a lot of group fitness is focused on weights. CrossFit, Olympic lifting, you're focusing on weights. You're focusing on those compound movements that I love.
A lot of cardio too. It's a combination of everything.
It's a combination of everything. So I show up 2019, and I'm like, all right, I started going again, right? And I started feeling good. It was weird. It was maybe just showing up somewhere helped. So I spent all 2019 not really working out. I stopped prep in the beginning. Next thing you know, 2020 comes around. I started squatting over 200 again. And I was like, I started seeing lines in my legs. I'm like, I'm back, baby. This is it. Next week, COVID hits. Pandemic, world shut down. My box shut down. I was like, what? March 2020, I found out I was pregnant. April 4th in 2020. So now insert, I took basically all 2019 off. We were talking about muscle and losing muscle, right? And I wasn't working out. My diet, I was really I fell into a depression because I couldn't work out. And that's, as we talked about before, it's our mental health. That's my hour to me. That is my me time. I need it. I crave it. I pour into everybody else's cup. I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, so I give the best of myself to everybody else. But the one time I give to myself is the gym. And I didn't have that. So I would wake up and pour into everybody else's cup. And at the end of the day, I didn't have anything for me. So with that said, diet lapsed. I wasn't eating as much as I should. And we were talking about how do you lose muscle? Well, you're not feeding the muscle. You're not training the muscle. You quite literally have to starve muscle off your body.
So you mentioned COVID.
Yes.
I got COVID for the first time this year, June 2022. I did not eat for 3 days.
You dodged it for 2 years,
I dodged it for 2 years, and then I got sick. And I didn't eat for 3 days. I was just in bed. I had 104 temperature. I got sick very hard. I lost a lot of muscle. I thought about doing a bodybuilding show this year. I was working on my glutes. I was growing them. I was putting on pants. I was like, wow, I can see results.
Yeah.
And then I got COVID. And so for those 3 days I didn't eat, I lost my taste of my sense of taste and my smell. It was difficult for me to eat. I was still recovering. It took a couple of weeks for me to like get back like up and to go back to work.
Yeah.
I lost so much muscle. I lost a lot of muscle.
Just by not eating, not training.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the not eating.
Yeah.
You can miss some training here and there, but
Exactly.
by not eating for the 3 days, and then I was like trying to force myself to drink protein shakes. I literally said, I don't think I ate today. I need to get out of bed and eat, because I was basically in bed 3 days straight, and then the next 4 days in and out.
Okay.
And I'd have to remind myself, like, you need to eat. You're going to lose muscle. My clothes were already falling off, so I was forcing protein shakes and protein bars. I couldn't taste them.
Getting some sort of calories, nutrients in.
Yes, so I was in a calorie deficit, and I feel like, and I know for sure, because when I put on my work pants, they were loose and baggy. I lost weight. I lost 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds in like the 2 weeks that I was suffering with COVID.
So I think a lot of people, to put it in perspective real fast for our listeners too, is like when we're prepping for a show, we're not starving ourselves. We're eating a lot of food because you have to support the muscle. You have
eating, you're eating clean. You're eating your 6 meals. You're getting all your protein in, but you're not eating sugar. You're not eating junk food. You're not eating, all these condiments that you would normally put in. You're eating very clean, but you're still eating food.
Like you're eating food and you're eating a lot. I think a big misconception to people is that you starve yourself, right? And so to put that in perspective real fast for people is like, you can lose muscle and people think like, okay, well, I'm dieting. Why am I not losing weight? Well, you're probably not eating the right stuff, right? So a lot of times when I do my nutrition clients, they're eating a lot more, not a lot of times, every single time I do have a nutrition client, they're eating a lot more than they probably ever have in their life, and their entire physique changes. They get a body recomposition, and they're like, how is this happening? I go, because you're eating the right way. You're eating more food, more calories than you ever have, but you're eating the right quality matters in food, right?
It does, and eating clean matters. So you can have one meal that's 2,000 calories that's, a bloomin' onion with French fries and all this delicious stuff, or you can have your 6 meals and still put on muscle and still have your meals, still be able to eat, and you're not starving yourself. So it's all about what you're eating, when you're eating, and how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So for me, when I got sick, I wasn't eating. I was in bed for I was really sick.
So it took you a month and you lost that. We were talking about your glutes
10
before.
pounds, yep. Couldn't taste or smell for a month. So still, even after I recovered, even after I was back at work, even after I was going back to the gym, I couldn't taste. So it was still like, I need to eat. So I was trying to eat more protein and be a little bit more conscious than I was when I was sick and in bed.
But by that point, the damage was already done.
I lost the 10 pounds. I dropped the 10 pounds. I still these pants specifically, I remember where there's this little cutout on me. I remember where that was. And now it's down here where it was like up here because I lost muscle. So I'm prepping for a show. I'm going to be doing a show in September, hopefully if everything goes well. And so you can't really put on muscle while you're trying to, lose fat and being in a calorie deficit. So right now I'm just trying to maintain, and then hopefully, once I lose a little bit of water and a little bit more fat, then it'll all come together. But I was working so hard on those glutes. Yeah,
the glutes. We were talking about it too before. We got into a deep dive of working out and being off and losing muscle, is that during pregnancy, and I kind of was joking with Michelle about this before, is that I said, a lot of women have mom butt, and what's mom butt? And so the guys are joking. They're like, yeah, your butt just falls off after you have a baby. So here's the deal. Michelle doesn't know what mom butt is, guys, and this is me revealing to her what mom butt is. So postpartum, mind you, so I had taken basically almost 2019 off. I started building muscle. I started looking good beginning of 2020. Found out I was pregnant. I worked out a little bit, but it was to a point that I was coaching a lot too. So I was coaching right post-pandemic, 24 classes. A lot of businesses lost a lot of employees, and we also did. So who made up for that? I was a head coach. I made up the difference, right? So I was coaching a lot. I wasn't training as much. So long story short, postpartum, I looked at my body and I'm like, where'd my muscle go? Because you're feeding a baby. I was breastfeeding too. My calories are already low while I was pushing more out. My muscle, as you just said, it took you a month to take off. But postpartum was instantly my butt. I don't have a big butt, but I have a nice butt. It's nice and it's
You've
round.
got a great butt.
I feel it. People are so surprised by how hard it is.
Yeah, that's a great butt.
It's a good butt, right? What's crazy is I've always had this like really strong glutes because I have really strong legs, right? So if you have good quads, strong legs, you're gonna get strong glutes as well. And I remember postpartum looking in the mirror, and it was like, actually no, I wasn't looking in the mirror. I put a dress on. Kyle and I were going somewhere, and I couldn't wear the dress because it was like my back went into my hamstrings. Girl.
I gotta see that picture.
I don't even know if I saved it. It was so bad. So I started researching, right? So now I'm in this whole new realm of like postpartum, like mom, and there are a lot of specialists out there too. And the cool thing is a lot of people put free content out there. And I was like, what is going on with my glutes, right? So mom butt, we all know mom butt is, and listen, no offense if you have mom butt, it's a part of life. And I'm gonna tell you why you get mom butt. It's like that little sink, right? So it, like, you know, you make that ugly butt in the mirror when you're a kid. Squeeze your butt cheeks in.
Okay, yeah.
That's basically mom butt. So what it is postpartum, we know pelvic floor is big part of postpartum, right? A lot of women, it is not normal if you pee when you run, ladies. If you're peeing when you run, it's not normal. That's a very weak pelvic floor. So having a weak pelvic floor creates a part of, you can't engage your glutes if you have a weak pelvic floor, right? So if this is weak here, guess what's also weak? The antagonist protagonist, thus creating mom butt. And a weak pelvic floor is so normal postpartum because one, if you're having a natural baby and you're pushing, like my daughter sat in my birth canal, she came out with a cone head. Literally, like she sat in my birth canal, just sitting there. And she came out when her head was cone. It only lasted a few minutes, so I don't think she wasn't like a cone head forever. If you know, you know.
I saw her picture, she's adorable.
Yes, she's so cute. But anyway, so my butt, so postpartum, right? I'm like, oh my God. So I started researching, I'm like, what should I do? Started working on my core, my lower abdominals, trying to work on that pelvic floor and getting it tight. And as soon as I started focusing on here, my juicy booty came back, my nice little bubble butt.
I can't stop looking at it.
See? It's the scrunch butt too. It's these Brazilian scrunch butt.
No, it's not the shorts, it's your butt.
But I'm telling you though, so isn't it crazy that like the glutes, it's like saggy booty to like not. And it's like, how do we get, and I'm 19 months postpartum now.
So you focus on your core.
Focus on my core because guess what? The weaker this is, the weaker this is. The stronger this is, the stronger this is. So when I teach the glute bridge, we were talking about this, you're like, you have to show me your glute bridge. Glute bridge being one of my favorites. And real fast, guys, if you are wondering if you have weak glutes, I have a glute assessment for you. Check out that pinned comment below. Coach Brian put an assessment there. It's free. How strong is your booty? We're gonna see.
I'm gonna check that.
Yeah. Michelle's like, I'm gonna check that out right now. Yes, I have a free assessment for you guys. Check out the pinned comments if you're wondering if your butt is weak or not. So back to the glutes, the glute bridge, right? So when I train people, if they do not have a strong core, I just did 4 1-on-1 on this like a few weeks ago. If you don't use this, you will use this. And if you're using your back, you're not using your glutes.
We're strong.
See? So when you're doing that rotation, you have to make sure the tighter your core is, the tighter your glutes are in that glute bridge.
I was working on that.
The looser your core is.
And then COVID.
Check it out, guys. Check out your glute assessment. And guess what? We'll catch you next time.